pretty nice. How are you guys doing? You guys are hungover. How many people are hungover? Nobody's hungover. Okay, good. You guys are just tired. My name is Kubby. I'm originally Canadian, but I moved to Copenhagen about 10 years ago. So people call me a sexual refugee. My wife imported me to Denmark. And I've been running a digital agency for the past 2 years, completely bootstrapped. We've grown to about 10 people, have some awesome clients, and I wanted to share some of those things that we've done, or at least give you guys some inspiration for what we've done in order to grow the business. How many people here, though, how many people are marketers here? I love it, my people. And how many people are like more startup founders, engineers? Who the hell are the rest of you guys? You just like walked off the street. It's like, I'll do this today. All right, so anyway, my talk is really about, it's the golden age of marketing. I've actually trying to change this a bit too. It's the golden age of business. I think we're living in one of the best times ever to be an entrepreneur, one of the best times to be in a startup, one of the best times to be a marketer. There's so much going on, but we're kind of missing the boat. And this is what I'm trying to teach people when I go on stage and I talk to people and I do my thing on social media. It's really about trying to help people get into the game here, because I really think we're missing out on the opportunity. Oftentimes we're seeing sort of, I got to get closer over here to switch it, I think. There we go. Business, if we're looking at Instagram, at least, people think business is like this. Right? It's all fun and games, Ferraris, we're living the high life. It's just not the case. Business is much more like this. I got to come all the way over here, you guys, I think, to switch. Does anybody else feel like this? I do, at least. I feel like I'm getting steamrolled all the time. Because the truth is that this game is hard. It's really hard. It's difficult, with or without funding. And I think as a marketer myself, I really want to kick, and as an entrepreneur, I kind of want to kick your guys' asses, because I think a lot of us are being lazy about it. Don't cue the music yet, guys. I'm not done. It's like, see ya. So I really want to inspire you guys and motivate you guys to do a lot more in the marketing game. Can anybody tell me what this number might represent? 70%. Somebody said something. You guys are too quiet. This is maybe too big of an audience for this kind of thing. 70%. This is a number of how much of a purchase decision is made before somebody even calls you. And this is done through online, through social, through events, through whatever. 70% of the purchase decision is already made before they even get a demo from you, hear from you, talk to your consultants, all that kind of stuff. We're living in this age. If you do not believe this number, I think actually this number might be higher. It might be 80%. If you don't believe this number, just take a look at your recent purchase decisions. How many people are walking into the electronics store or the whatever store and saying, hey, tell me about this product, and learning about it there and figuring it out if you want to buy it? Nobody. We're all doing our online research. In fact, we might even go into the store, leave, and go buy it on Amazon for cheaper. That's the world we're living in. And as marketers and entrepreneurs, we got to start realizing this, because a lot of us are relying on the phone call, the consultation, the demo, the whatever it is, the point of contact with the customer, and we're not thinking about, hey, wait a second, all their purchase decision has been made even before they even talk to us. And if we understand that, then we can start to do things a little bit differently. We've gone from, if anybody remembers this movie, the Always Be closing, Alec Baldwin, the Glenn Ross, to the Don Draper. We've actually gone backwards a bit. Marketing is such a big part of why we choose products and services that we're in this zone now. We're not in this closing thing anymore. And that's a fundamental shift that we have to get into our heads and into the culture and into the things that we're doing if we're going to survive, if our startups, entrepreneurs, even big businesses are going to survive. I mean, look at Toys R Us. Look at, Blockbuster. Look at all these brands that have died in the last little while, all because they forgot this. Actually, Toys R Us is a good example because they had a deal with Amazon locked up super early at the beginning to sell toys through Amazon. And then Amazon said, well, we're going to let other people sell toys as well. And Toys R Us said, no thanks, we're going to take our toys and go home, which was stupid of them because they didn't realize that, this is where people are going to purchase all their toys in the future. Come on. I need the PowerPoint gods to help me out here. So there's a lot. Does anybody get... This is insane, right? These are all the channels that we have to utilize to get our messages across to our consumer. This didn't exist 10, 15 years ago. This is insane. And this is why this is one of the greatest times ever to be in business and in marketing, because we have all of these things at our disposal, but we're not getting into it. We have Tinder. I've yet to see a brand actually put their own products on Tinder. Swipe right. That might be a good idea. We got Tinder. We got Google. We got Twitter. We got Snapchat. We got Medium. We got LinkedIn. We have every kind of media we can buy, spend. We have every opportunity in the world, but we're just not jumping in enough. And I think it's a big problem. Oh my God, it's way too far ahead. Here's another look at that. We can skip this because this is not that interesting. But basically, these are all the different things that we have at our disposal. We have websites, we have campaign management, media agencies, we have SEM, SEO, web analytics, email marketing, we have AI, VR, AR. We have so many channels at our disposal. And what is stopping us from using these? The barrier to entry is so low. And I think it's because we're afraid. I think that some of us are lazy. Some of us are out there playing FIFA. I'm not hating on anybody playing FIFA, but some of us are out there playing FIFA when they could be networking with every single business person they meet here and getting their messages to the people that could potentially buy their product. I'm going to come all the way over here now. Yes. And we're just getting started. This is the future, right? Has anybody done this? I've actually done this. That was not a fun day for me. If you're not killing it in Facebook right now, how are you going to kill it in VR? Brands come to us all the time like, hey, can you help us get into this, get into that? I'm like, you guys haven't even got the basics right. And we're jumping ahead here. And that's fine. You can skip a couple of steps. If you're good, you have the money. But for the most part, I always go, well, let's get all that out of the way first. And it actually is a fundamental shift in how they think because they sort of have rolled their eyes at Facebook. How many of us have experienced that? How many of us would have loved to be in YouTube 10 years ago? Yeah, that's good. I like the hand. How many people would have loved to be have their brand really big on Instagram 5 years ago? Yeah. And we're seeing this emerging text come up all the time, and that's how we get into it. History is repeating itself. We have to get in early. How many people are in VR, doing something in VR? What is stopping you? And it's basically a mindset shift to say, you know what, we're not going to be scared, we're not going to sit on the fence. Because as marketers, how many of you are marketers again? A lot? As marketers, we're actually kind of the innovation center in a lot of businesses these days. But we've been thought of as like sort of the crayon department for many years. We're sitting there with our colors and our like, you know what I mean, like our nice pretty PowerPoints and our websites and all this kind of stuff. But we're in control of most of the business now. And we have to get out of that basement thinking and start pulling ourselves up and saying, you know what, actually, we're in charge of this shit. We're going to run this town. We're in the best time ever. We could reach millions of people for a fraction of the price that it used to cost. You used to have to hire an expensive director, filmmakers, film crew, whatever it was to get your shit edited, cut, produced. And now you can basically run around with this thing and produce 4K video and publish it today. We don't have to do those things anymore. They cost very little. And advertising, social media, organic search, all these things are basically free. We didn't have these things. I actually joke with a couple of marketers yesterday and today that I think actually Facebook, all the platforms actually want to make us worse at marketing. They want to put us back in the Stone Ages of like paying for advertising when we're the ones like creating the content, doing all this great stuff to engage our customers. Facebook is saying, no, go back to like print advertising days when you had to pay to reach your audiences. And that's fine if you have the cash. But we have the power today to reach millions of people, millions, literally billions of people for nothing. And we're just not taking advantage of it. And I want us to. So here's some of Kubby's quick wins if you want to get into this and do much better marketing and much better business. Marketing today is like the stock market. How does the stock market work? Buy low. You guys are sleeping. Sell high. Can everyone say that? Sell high? Wow. Awesome. Okay, so marketing today is like the stock market. Buy low, sell high. I have no slides here, guys. There we go. Buy low, sell high. And what do I mean by that? I mean like what I said before, getting into YouTube early, getting into Facebook early, getting into Musical.ly early, getting into Twitch early, recognizing that history repeats itself, and we're going to be sitting here, 6 months to a year from now, or 24 months, or 36 months, saying, oh man, I wish we would have done something with that. We could have been number one. We could have really reached an audience. We could have built a community there. But we're not. We're actually trying to get in at the high side. Organizations, a lot of marketers will say like, oh, now that this sort of thing has proven itself, now that Snapchat is big, or now that Instagram is big, now we're going to buy in, and it gets really expensive. And then they say, well, we have no ROI on it. Our return on investment is so low on it. Well, that's because you got in when it was super saturated. You got to get in low and sell high. So don't be afraid of getting into those new platforms. This is really killing my flow. One of the ways you can do this is see what's trending on the App Store and Google Trends. So if you want to see what platforms, what apps, what designs, what things are coming up, look at the App Store, see what the top trending stuff is, go and explore. See what people are getting into. How many people do this? Very few of you. This is a very good way to see what's going on in the culture, to get a good barometer of what are people actually doing, what are people looking at, what is popular. And it's a good way to say, okay, we can buy low and sell high in this particular area because we've already caught it. Build a community like Oprah. Or like this woman. Does everyone know who this is? Kylie Jenner. $500 million in revenue in 18 months. $500 million in revenue for her cosmetics company in 18 months. Why? Because she has a community. She has a ton of fans that love her. And all of you are probably rolling your eyes at me and saying, really? A Kardashian? Like reality TV star? Like her sister did a sex tape, is married to Kanye. You're really telling me that this is like business gold? That's the problem with how you're thinking about it. You're rolling your eyes at this and going, instead of seeing for what it is, you're looking at it and saying, that's garbage, that's crap. We don't want to be involved in that. But the truth is that this is where business is going. We're going to see much, much more of this, where people with an actual community are going to be able to leverage that community for big business. And she's going to take out her competitors. There's going to be a makeup brand that folds in the next 5 to 10 years because of this kind of stuff. And instead of like feeling sad about it, I'm like, good. You guys missed the boat. You screwed up. You didn't see where things were going. That's your own fault. So instead of complaining about it, it's better to tap into it. Another quick win is when the parents hate it, the kids love it. Have you noticed this? This is a good marketing tactic. If kids love a product, but the parents hate it, it will explode. It's fundamental. I don't know what it is, but it's something about our genetics that when the kids love something, so look at what the kids are doing. How many of you have small kids at home? I do. I'm watching what they're seeing. I'm watching what they're into because it's a really good indication of what's coming up. So if you want a quick win, look at what the kids are doing. Don't roll your eyes at what the kids are doing. Like, for example, kids are spending 3 hours a day watching Twitch live streams of people playing Fortnite. And we can sit here and go, that's garbage. Or we can sit here and go, wow, that's interesting. What is that all about? I need to find out so that I can use that for my business. You don't even have to do anything yourself. You can pay influencers to do it. If you're not into social media, or if you're not into like some of these other marketing avenues that are coming up, you can literally just pay influencers to do it for you before you jump in. Another quick win is tap into the Zeitgeist. Does anybody remember this ad? Does anyone remember this? This is when Brad Pitt divorced Angelina Jolie, and Norwegian Air ran this as a print ad. Marketing has become much more timely, much more real-time. We need to be able to tap into those real-time things and capitalize on it. How many people wanted to go to Los Angeles and marry Brad Pitt after this? A few of you. Me too. I don't think he'd have me, though. He's got like 10 kids as well, so, I mean, who wants that? He's damaged goods. Another quick win is getting into video. Video, by 2021, will represent 82% of all IP traffic. If you're not doing video today, you will be lost. You will lose. Guaranteed. This is what people are consuming. Whether that's Netflix, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, whatever it is, YouTube, we're consuming so much video content. And if you're a brand and you're not doing video, your content will have a hard time. Another quick win is you have to think like all the noise in the world, all the content out there, you have to stop the scroll. You have to be bold. You have to make sure it works in the first 3 seconds. You have to stop people in their scroll. It's a little clickbaity, I know that, but it's crucial if you want people to watch your content. . Nothing. Okay, here's a simple formula. Content plus conversations community equals cash. I'm amazed at how well this formula works. You create content, you create conversations with people, it builds your community, that generates cash. It's simple. It's the Kylie Jenner model. Maybe I should call it that. It's also working for my business. I built a community on social media. I built a pretty good community on Snapchat. Forbes named me as one of the best business gurus on Snapchat, and it got me into business deals with some of the best brands in the world. It's simple. And if you're not doing this, you're going to have a hard time. Mobile. Everything is mobile. We touch this thing more than we touch our loved ones. Sad but true. So, this thing is where you need to make things work, because this is your customer. How to get that beach shot, right? So this is our customer, so we have to realize this. And instead of feeling bad about it, we have to tap into it. I love it. So, like I said, let's go back one. Too many slides, guys. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Instead of rolling our eyes, this is to recap this. Instead of rolling our eyes at these things, instead of feeling like, oh, that's garbage, that's crap, what the kids are doing, that's just kid stuff, whatever that is, instead of doing that, let's explore, let's be curious, let's see what's going on, let's use it to our advantage. As marketers and business people, let's not stay in the basement. Let's take our rightful place and own it. And the truth is that you will fail. Jesus, this thing is like awesome. You will fail, right? We all will fail, but that's okay, right? We have to stop being a bunch of scaredy cats and really go for it. Stop being scared. Stop being scaredy cats. Tap into what's working. Try a lot of stuff, and hopefully you'll win. And be doing this. Thanks, guys. That's all from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris Kubby.